Yo, welcome back to Fighting with Friends. It's your boy, Brother Gaia, back again with another preview and prediction of One Fight Night 38, which will be live this Saturday, the 6th of December at 4 a.m. South African time on YouTube. We also will be doing a live watch along of that fight card. So, before I get into this prediction, please drop a like, share, and subscribe. Get in the comments. Give me your thoughts in the comment section on this fight card. I would love to hear what your picks are. I see we get some comments and some conversation earlier today. Brother Poetan, the Goatan, DM'd me on Instagram asking me for my picks. So okay, cool. Today, sit back, get involved, pay attention. We're gonna go through some of these fights with nice in-depth analysis and break them down and give you a very detailed, calculated pick from my side. But as always, gamble responsibly as well. But let's get straight into a chat. I'm going to bring up the card on screen. There we go. Okay, cool. Main event, we have Fabricio Andrade taking on Enkh-Orgil from Mongolia. So it's Brazil versus Mongolia. The Bantamweight World title is MMA. I can't wait for this fight. It's going to be a banger, honestly. I'm pausing because it's like, finally, we get to see Fabricio fight again. He's such a talented fighter, and I keep saying I want to see this guy fight so often because I rate him quite highly. Like if I think MMA fighters across the board, so like one UFC, PFL, or Octagon, all these guys, Cage Warriors, I would say that Fabricio Andrade is up there. He's definitely up there among the 145-pound division for sure. I put him in definitely top 20, top 10 of the world, in my opinion. I think he's really good. I just want to see him get tested more frequently, and I think this is going to be a very good test for him. For Enkh-Orgil, this is the biggest opponent in his career as well. I won't say Fabricio's career, but definitely Enkh-Orgil. I will say this is going to be a tough challenge for Fabricio Andrade. Let me give you some numbers before I break down the X's and O's. Fabricio Andrade is 28 years old. He's obviously the current bantamweight MMA champion. His record in one championship is 7 wins, 1 loss, 1 no contest. That one loss came against Jonathan Agnew, by the way, and that was in kickboxing. No contest was against John Lineker. 2 wins by KO, 3 wins by TKO, 1 win by sub, beat Quan, 1 ill by first round TKO in his last fight. It's like same story. We see that happen every single time. So I'm glad that Quan 1 has been released, or at least found a different challenge for himself. Enkh-Orgil, 36 years old, off the calendar completely. Record in one championship is 6 wins, 1 loss, no contest. He's got 1 win by TKO, 3 wins by sub, 3 fight win streak, and he beat Jeremy Pacquiao by unanimous decision in his last fight. And this is going to be a fun one. So, keys to victory. Before I tell you who's going to win, keys to victory, Enkh-Orgil, definitely aggressive wrestling. I think he's got very, very high level grappling, something that we haven't seen Fabricio deal with too much since being in one championship. I know Fabricio's got a very good jiu-jitsu game, but we haven't seen him put on his back enough for me to see what is his defensive situations like. How does he get through out of extensive grappling? Because Enkh-Orgil is going to obviously, we look at a lot of his fights, his striking is okay. It's not like the world's greatest. His striking is competent enough. He's got some good weapons in there, but what he really does well is his pressure, and his pressure leads to where he wants to take the fight, which is obviously the grappling. Look for submissions. He's on a big streak at the moment. Tapping out a lot of good names. Paolo Buminang is in there. Akante. He tapped out some good names, and we know that all came from that heavy pressure, puts you on the back foot. Now, Fabricio is going to be the taller fighter, so I wonder how he will deal with Fabricio's long-range weapons. But I definitely believe that Enkh-Orgil's style here and his keys to victory is to keep that aggressive pressure, eliminate the space, almost shoot immediately, fight a little bit like Khamzat Chimaev, just make it aggressive, hard grappling, tire out Fabricio. You've got the advantages there, in my opinion. That's how I see him winning this fight. I can see him doing that for like 3 rounds pretty easily, and then maybe giving up the last 2 rounds. But I can definitely see Enkh-Orgil not dominating, but putting on a game plan like that, just heavy grappling for 2 rounds, look for submissions, maybe even get them some ground and pound, fight like a Mongolian. It sounds like I'm saying something derogatory, but they actually do this really well. The Mongolian fighters are fantastic almost any discipline. There's such good fighters, such good athletes. And well conditioned as well. They barely get tired, these guys. So I think you can definitely utilize that, because when was the last time we saw Fabricio Andrade go to 5 rounds? Right? No, we haven't seen Baturku go to 5 rounds either, but because I think this is his first title attempt here at one championship. So it's a kind of new territory for kind of both of them. Not so much for Fabricio, because he's been fighting 5 round fights the whole time now, but he hasn't really gone that far. With fights been ending over after 2 rounds at most, 2 or 3 rounds at most. Yeah, Enkh-Orgil, that's the game plan. High guard, walk him down, lots of pressure like he normally does. Shoot for takedowns. Be train wrestling a lot. Try and control Fabricio on the ground. Look for submissions over there, a lot of ground and pound. It sounds easy to say, but I think that's like how he does his best work. And so far, we haven't seen any fighter deal with that kind of pressure. Fabricio Andrade, on the other hand, he should just do what he does all the time, and that's just blast everybody out there. Powerful, fast, accurate striking, fights out the southpaw stance really well. Good calf kicks, good weapons of choices. The body kick is nasty. We've seen Quan O'Neill step pull to those body kicks, as well as a left body shot. He's definitely got sharper and faster striking than Enkh-Orgil, I'd say that for sure. But Fabricio Andrade doesn't really shoot for takedowns. We don't let him see him go for it. He can do some hip tosses here and there. He's good at it. But we don't see him use those weapons enough. And I think in this fight, he's going to have to wrestle a little bit. So there's a chance of him fighting against the clock, I'd say, because there's going to be a lot of control time for Baturku. Managing the gas tank is important for Fabricio here. I think if he keeps Enkh-Orgil at the end of his punches, at the end of his kicks, basically when he pulls back those kicks for recoiling or punches, he at least has enough time and space to defend any sort of shot that comes his way, like a takedown. I'm talking double leg, single leg, anything like that. Basically keeping Enkh-Orgil just at the end of his range every single time. Lots of lateral movements. He'll even feint right a lot of the times to feint those kicks, but then go up high with them. Enkh-Orgil is the shorter guy. He's not the most tallest bantamweight fighter. It's a very interesting matchup, very highly intriguing matchup. If I must give you my pick, I'm going to go with Fabricio Andrade. I think that he is the champion. He's got the advantages of the power and height and size. He's got very good grappling, competent grappling, good takedown defense, which is probably why he's another guy's not shooting on him. And he strikes in such a way where he doesn't really give opponents a chance to actually shoot on him. He keeps them very at his distance, at his timing, at his pace. It's really good. Enkh-Orgil's going to be aggressive from the get-go. I got the feeling he's going to put the pace on Fabricio from the first second. The moment they touch gloves, he's on his bike and he's going at him. But I think Fabricio survives the takedown, survives the grappling in the first round, and then starts picking the hurt, and Enkh-Orgil as the rounds go 8 goes on. I think Fabricio wins either early stoppage or he gets a stoppage in the later rounds, like around 4 or 5. Crazy fight. I can't wait for it. Unfortunately, I won't be able to watch this fight live, but you will have AD. AD is going to be able to do the live for us this weekend. He'll be hosting with the team, so keep a lookout for that. But I will definitely be around to do the live recap with you guys Monday. But I got Fabricio for the win. Give me your thoughts in the comment section. Give me your picks in the comment section. I know TSPV is live with us all the time. Dropping his thoughts. Much love to all of that. Just love that he gives us such valuable insight to the game as well. But yeah, give me your thoughts. Give me your picks on that one, please, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to keep it moving to a banger of a co-main event. All right. We have Shadow taking on Enzo Kovtun from France. This is featherweight Muay Thai, and this is a late replacement opponent for Shadow. He was supposed to fight against Mohamed Yunus Rabah. I think that fight is cursed. They have had the fight before. I poke, then they scheduled the fight again. Now Mohamed Yunus is injured. And correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't one of them miss weight in that first fight as well? Anyway, I think this fight is cursed. I don't know if we're going to get a matchup between Shadow and Mohamed Yunus. Wishing Mohamed Yunus healthy recovery. Hope he gets back well. Because I do think he can be a good opponent for this featherweight Muay Thai division. But up steps Enzo Kovtun. If you know anything about the guy, I think he is the ISKA European trans-based champion. I think he's got another title under his belt, but he's primarily been fighting kickboxing. That is his forte. Very good fighter. I watched some extensive tape on him before doing this preview, so I can give some information on him. And I think he's stylistically a very good matchup. Problem could be a problem for Shadow here because he's got the high volume, but also very accurate selective weapons. Nasty calf kick, which is what I like. I like calf kicks. He's got a very nasty calf kick, right? And then he doesn't really throw a lot of tip kicks out there. It's nasty calf kicks and then typical kickboxing combination. Right, right, left, overhand, body shot, leg kick. You know what I mean? Body shot, right hand, left kick, or either right kick to the calf. But he loves throwing the calf kicks more than anything. It's his weapon of choice to set up a lot of his boxing combinations, which I think is beautiful. Nasty uppercuts to the body. He's got a very good uppercut to the body off the calf kick as well. He will stand there, calf kick, right hand, left shot, boom. He loves to throw that. Right, it's his weapon of choice. It's the combination that he finishes a lot of fights with as well. Typical high guard, especially when fighters start to put shots on him. He does keep that guard tight, curls his back really nicely. He can defend the inside at the same time. He's going to be a tough opponent for Shadow. Very tough opponent for Shadow. I think that's something Shadow's going to have to deal with. One thing about Kenzo, though, he's not high pressure. He doesn't back you up the whole time. He loves to keep the center of the ring. And we fight here in the middle of the ring. He doesn't want to put you on the back of the ropes. I noticed that a lot. I find quite interesting. He doesn't put a lot of pressure on you. It's a lot of just we're gonna stand in the middle here, and from the middle, I can take out a lot of the weapons here, and I find that beautiful at the same time. But I also find it like, how does he deal with a fighter that's got a high pressure game, someone that's putting him on the back foot all the time, that's high volume, and this is Muay Thai, so it's not big ounce gloves, right? This is not the full boxing gloves. So there's clinching, there's elbows. It's a different set of weapons that's going to be added to the fight style, to the game that he hasn't had to face. At least the fights I have watched, I haven't seen him fight in 4 ounce Muay Thai gloves before. I don't know if anyone else does it, but one championship. But anyway, that's a big factor because I think that's the kind of fight style that Shadow's going to bring to him. If you look at Shadow's last few fights before losing against Liu Mingyang, he went on a tear. A lot of the weapons choices that Shadow would use, right, would also be boxing combinations, but that would only be primarily when he's got you back against the ropes, which means Shadow is a high pressure fighter. He gets forward, gets aggressive, and he looks to get into clinch positions where we can box here, but if I need to defend, if I need to switch up, I can just clinch, elbow, knee. You can do all these kinds of ugly stuff that Enzo, in my opinion, will have a problem with. Now, the tape I watched could lead me to a very wrong analysis. But if he fights anything like I've watched, I think his counter shots, and if Shadow takes too long to get going, like if he actually gives Enzo too much respect in the beginning, at the moment's notice, he won't have a front leg. Enzo will take it out. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, I think Shadow fights southpaw. So that could give a little bit of advantage to Shadow, meaning that he doesn't have to worry about his front leg being chewed up so much, other than an inside low kick. That's because for Enzo to do an outside low kick, he would have to switch his stance, which will then give Shadow a chance to read that because it can be telegraphed. He can switch. He'll switch stances and he can actually just block that and dart forward on that high kick or low kick. So that means that Enzo's calf kicks won't be there as much as it would be against a conventional against conventional. Shadow, if he fights the way he's been fighting against all his opponents, but also keeps his defense quite nice and neat, I think he can beat Enzo in the sense of don't fight on the outside too much. Get up in his face, in his grill. A lot of clinch fighting, a lot of knees and elbows in the clinch fighting. Stay very close to him, highly aggressive. A volume. Even when you're backing up, throw out a tip, throw out a calf kick, back up. You don't back up and wait. You don't back up and wait and measure. Because the moment you do that, and just throwing the calf kick, bam! He's gonna attack the legs immediately, and it's a very tricky kind of fighter to deal with. Pardon me, if you look at all the Japanese kickboxers that we've seen in one championship so far, they're so active on defense and offense that there's no moment for you to actually take control of the fight, and I find that highly impressive. And Enzo's got that similar beat, similar rhythm to his style. But I'm gonna go with Shadow. It's his realm, it's his game, it's his discipline, it's his fight style. He's on a streak. He's hitting not the peak, but he's hitting a red hot form at the moment. I know the last to Liu Mingyang derailed a little bit, but apart from the first round, I think he fucked up Liu Mingyang in that fight as well. I just think that the 10-minute knockdown rule goes against it. but I thought he won 2 to 3 rounds. So I think Shadow with the power, the size, the fight style of the high kind of pressure game will give Enzo some stuff to trouble him. But if Shadow fights a very slow, tit for tat kind of performance or fight style, I think he's putting into Enzo's game here. But I got Shadow for them. I believe he's gonna do what Shadow does. Shadow be doing Shadow things this weekend, boys. I think he's gonna get us the win this weekend. Let's go, Shadow. Give me your thoughts, chat. Put it in the comments. Let's go. Oh, water is so fucking good. Oh, love water. Okay. Up next, we have Diogo Reis taking on Taiki Yonekura from Japan. And this is flyweight submission grappling. And yeah, not much I can really say on this one. If I'm being honest, I'm not going to sit there and pretend like I can break down X's and O's. I just know that both these guys are high profile. Diego Reis has done the ADCC a few times. I think he's a champion, if I'm not mistaken. Last year he defended it, if I'm not mistaken. Taiki Yonekura is 29 years old. Diego's 23 years old. Diego has fought one before. I think this is Taiki's debut. And Diogo, if I'm not mistaken, he beat a Japanese fighter before this in Shuya Ishiguro. He's also a very, very good submission specialist. And Diogo just made him look like cheese. It's easy. It's light work. It's light work. So I think this fight here, based on the tape that I've watched on the two guys, Diogo's very aggressive for flyweight Muay Thai grappler. He's got aggression of all note, powerful. He seems to have a power over a lot of the guys. More bulky and stocky than a lot of the guys in this division. So he relies on that power and the explosion of a lot of his scrambles. Whereas Taiki seems to be a little bit more composed. He's also pretty powerful flyweight. He's taken on fighters almost 3-4 times his size, much bigger weight classes, and taps him out as well as a very powerful dude at the same time. But what I like about Taiki is that he's got composure. He's not high scrambles, powerful scramble situations, which may actually be at his detriment in this fight. We'll have to see. But I think Taiki's best weapons that I've noticed on the tape that I've watched him is that he's got this ability to stay calm. He's on his back. He's in his open guard. He's very composed there. Nothing panics him. Very creative trips, reversals for leg locks. Interesting stuff. I think he might be able to catch Diogo because of Diogo's aggression. It's going to be an interesting one. I don't really have this in the parlay, but for a pick, I'll probably say Diogo. I think he's the more powerful guy. I think he's an ADCC champion. I think he's going to be able to do what he does normally and powerful guy, but power through a lot of the guys. But I think Taiki isn't going to be as easy as it was when he fought against Shuya Ishiguro. Interesting fight, but I got Diogo for the win there. Let me know what you guys think in that one. Chat, give me your thoughts. It's going to be a high-level matchup. I think Taiki's may have something to surprise people here, but I got Diogo. It's safe money for me. Let's keep it going. Okay, this is going to be a fun one. Up next, we have Atomweight Muay Thai. Chicha, the queen, taking on Martina Dominzak. She used to be Kazenska, but now she's Dominzak. Obviously being married. I'm going to give you some. Hold on. That don't make any sense. Let me just remind myself here. I think I may have put down the wrong number. Oh, okay. Well, then I was right. Okay. Chicha, current Atomweight kickboxing champion, 23 years old. Her record in one championship is flawless. 7 wins, 0 losses, 0 no contest. 4 wins by TKO. Undefeated. Beat Hana Marimoto by unanimous decision in the last fight. Beautiful fight, by the way. Martina Dominzak is 23 years old. Her record in one championship is 3 wins, 1 loss, 0 no contest. 1 win by TKO. 2 fight-to-win streak. She beat Cynthia Flores by unanimous decision in her last fight. Good performance. Cynthia Flores is a dog. Tough fight for anybody. She's just high-level pit bull energy. Martina, this is going to be a big step up for her because she's taking on the current champion in kickboxing, right? And I think this fight, if I'm not mistaken, could be a number 1 contenders matchup to be facing against the current at the Muay Thai champion in Rodriguez, and then Helen Rodriguez, um, Alicia. So this is actually a high profile fight. This is lots at stake here, and also if you beat Pejija, it's like beating you are beating a current champion. You know, that's going to be a big feather in your cap for beating a current champion, especially someone that's undefeated and someone that undefeated in one, and a fighter that's considered to be like one of the elites at the moment, considering how powerful she is. And look at her fight style; it's just ugly stuff, right? Martina, one thing I'll give her, you know, when I watched it in the last couple of fights that she's shown me, Martina has definitely developed this she's just got that, you know, that grunging her. She's just got that dog in her, and I see that in her face in the last couple of fights. I'm like, okay. Cynthia cracked her with some heavy shots, and she had to fight through it and put on a clinic in terms of range, distance management, fancy footwork, good weapon choices, fast boxing combinations when she gets into the pocket, gets out of there. Beautiful stuff. Just in the look in the eye, it's a look of like, I'm on a streak right now. I'm going to take a title very soon, kind of thing. And that's a very formidable kind of opponent to fight against if someone's got that mindset on them, right? But she's taken on someone that also fair enough also feels like she's pretty much unbeatable at this point, and also fights a fight style that's like a dominant fight style. Pejija doesn't want to give up any ground. She walks you backwards and puts damage in shots on you. She's got fantastic boxing combinations. She doesn't only headhunt, she hits the body really well. Good tips, good high kicks, low kicks, just powerful body kicks coming from Pejija. I think she's got the power over Martina in this fight. I'm not too sure with the volume. I think, with the speed. I think Martina might have the speed on her. But I just get the feeling that Pachija's going to walk her down a lot. Martina's going to be forced to fight a counter heavy back foot kind of fight. I'm keen to see what the game plan might be. She might even look for some kind of high kick inside the pocket, because both Pachija and Martina loves to stay in the pocket long enough to throw like at least 4 to 5 punches before they get out. Just watch them fight. They don't stay in there, and they get away. You know what I mean? They don't hit a 2-piece to the body in one up and then get away. They kind of stay in. Once they go in, it's like they unload like a 5-punch combination. They end with a high kick or low kick, right? And they both love to do that. It's just a matter of when they're in those pockets, who gets the most creative here. And I think Martina might just look out for this weekend. She might get into the pocket and actually step off and throw a high kick instead of landing and staying there for 4 punches. You know what I mean? Because it's a very risky thing in the France gloves to dart in, commit, and then just start throwing. The one who lands is the one who. It's too risky, right? And one thing, if you think about, Superbond does it really well. You think Rodriguez does it also really well. Anissa Mixon used to do it very well. And even Stella Hemmetsberger did it now against Jackie Buntan. She does it also really well. So when they get into that pocket, Martina almost said Kazenska again, excuse me, Gomenzak, she does it also really well. So when they get in, they will throw it 1, 2, and then the opponents already set their feet to now continue this brawl, and then they will, after the 2, they will just step off, high kick, step away. And that's how Stella Hemmetsberger was able to drop Jackie Buntan a few times in their fight. And I think that's the kind of stuff that Martina's going to have to throw in this fight as well. And don't be afraid that when you get into the pocket, you don't have to stay there to throw 6-piece. You can throw an elbow, come over the top with an elbow, hit the body, come over with an elbow. You don't have to stay in there long enough to get hit back by Pajija. So I think a lot of the timing is going to be a key for her here. She's going to be very careful and very time heavy. Watch Pajija's tendencies and time, because Pajija's going to eye guard and she's going to walk you down and she's going to throw a hard body shot, another one, and then she's going to throw a high kick or a hard body kick. And then once she sees you at the back of the ropes, look for her to explode there, 4 or 5-piece. She's going to do stuff like that. She's prepared to do that. Also, ugly elbows from Pajija. Look, it's going to be a war, I can tell you that now, because Martina Dominizak doesn't really back up. She's also a kind of fighter that doesn't want to be backed up. She wants to walk down as well, beat fire with fire. And I just feel like, although that's going to be admirable for her, I just don't know if it's going to be wise to match up against a Pajija like that. You know what I mean? I think the only fighter, in my opinion, that can do that to Pajija is Alicia Helen Rodriguez. She's literally the only one I can see And that's not throwing any shade to Martina. Martina is top tier. I really think she's top tier. I just don't know if she can bully Vegija the way I think Rodriguez can bully her. Because Rodriguez, not only does she match up with Vegija in terms of size and power, but she's also a high volume, elite striker, very, very methodical, chooses shots really well, manages the gas tank extremely well, and then also just has a lot of power when she goes forward. It's gonna be intriguing time for the Atomweight Muay Thai division going forward. Yeah, I can't wait to keep an eye on this even more. But for my pick for the win for this fight, I'm gonna go Pejija. Not only do I think that hey, you guys must have just like lost me there for. But yeah, sorry. So my pick is Pejija. You guys probably lost me. My pick is for Pejija. I think she wins this fight. She's got similar weapons to Martina, but powerful, bigger, stronger. Got the gas tank, got the same kind of volume, but I just think she's more durable and she can hit a lot harder than Martina. And that's going to be the game changer for me in this fight. Give me your thoughts in the comments, please, ladies and gentlemen, while I keep moving. Okay, up next, lightweight submission grappling between a legend in Marcelo Garcia taking on Lachlan Giles from Australia. Um, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this one just because I don't know what to make of it really. My memory serves me well. I think Pedro Tolo is still the current lightweight grappling champion in one. I don't know if he vacated the belt since doing MMA. I think he may still be the champion. So we could see a legend versus the new kid, Let's see how that goes. Let's see how that goes. But in this fight, if I know anything about Lachlan Giles, I think he is a training partner of Craig Jones. So we know he's got high level jiu-jitsu, one of the top tier jiu-jitsu guys in the world right now. He's Craig Jones, and Lachlan Giles arguably looks exactly like him, fights exactly like him. So this is going to be a very intriguing jiu-jitsu heavy matchup. Like the fans are going to love it because of who it is. It's a legend in Marcelo Garcia, one of the most like integrated jiu-jitsu guys of all time, and see him going to go up against one of the current top rated jiu-jitsu guys in Lachlan Giles. It's going to be wild. So let's see how this fight plays out. I really don't know who wins. I think if I put my picks together, I'll show you the picks at the end of the channel. Excuse me, at the end of the video. I'll go through my picks again. And I think I went with Marcelo Garcia. I think because I didn't put too much like convincing myself into it. Just like just pick one. Anywhere, if you could just pick one. I went with Marcelo Garcia. Let's see how it goes because Lachlan Giles does. He's younger. He is the younger fighter. So let's see how that looks in this fight. He may have the vibrance and the youth on him to actually be able to last fight and have the stamina to go a little bit longer than Marcelo Garcia. Let me know what your thoughts are in the chat, please, ladies and gentlemen. I can't really break that one down for you guys. It is jiu-jitsu at the end of the day. Though like I have a little bit of understanding of it, it's not something that I break down frequently enough to give you a more accurate reading on that one. So give me your thoughts. But this fight, however, I can really break down for you guys. So let's go. We have Aliff taking on Ramadan on Dash from Lebanon. This is strawweight Muay Thai. The winner here pretty much books themselves a title shot against Rajanjai. Aliff, 21 years old. His record in one championship is 8 wins, 2 losses, 0 no contests. He's got 4 wins by KO, 1 win by TKO, 4-fight win streak. And he beat Ahmed Al Jamari by unanimous decision in his last fight. Ramadan on Dash, 19 years old. His record in one championship is also perfect of 4 wins, 0 losses, 0 no contests. 2 wins by KO, 4-fight win streak. He beat Chat Payak by second round KO in his last fight. That was just a all-out brawl between the two standing heavy boxing fighters. So who do you think is going to win here? Let me first break down some of the reasoning why I give you my pick. The keys to victory for Ramadan on Dash, you know what kind of fight style he gives you. He's high pressure, very much aggression of like times a million. Super hard boxing, right? One of the most cleanest left hooks you'll see in the game. Puts people away with it, but he also depends on it, right? So that's what he does really well. He backs you up, and then once he gets you backed up, he plants his feet, and he'll dig to the body of the left hook, up with the left hook. You'll just throw speeding. And that's the thing about Ramadan and Dash, and this is gonna get him a little bit sooner or later. It's gonna catch him. He will level up from this, but he fights a style where it's all in or nothing. He doesn't jab his way in, or he attacks the calves, or tips his way in, or sets up and traps his opponent and feints, and then starts, popping him off, and then throws a hard shot, and bam, a hard shot, and then you can start putting on the full power once your opponent is kind of rocked. What he does is he just puts full power from the first moment, and every single shot he throws is full power. But sometimes you'll see Ramadan and Dash will be in moments where he'll commit to a overextension on the combination, but the opponent's not even there. They'll be out of range, and he's really swinging. And I'm like, what's the fight against Kong Chai? He committed a lot to combinations, and Kong Chai wasn't even available for him to hit him. And I'm like, you see, he commits to full power in all his shots, and that can catch up to him because he can lose out on his stamina. Come to round 2 and 3, you won't have the same kind of pop in his shots anymore. He's putting everything into it. I think that'll catch up to him firstly. Secondly, although I think his powers and his shots is devastating, I think if he clips Aliff at any point in this fight, I think Aliff will go down. I promise you. I think Ramadan Dash has got a very high chance of knocking Aliff out in this fight. Now, Aliff is super tall. Targets are a lot higher for him to reach, which means he's going to get more aggressive to get there. Which will also mean that he'll be a little bit more telegraphed, which is my main point about Ramadan Dash, is that although I'm a fan of his style and I want to see him succeed, he has to learn these tendencies. And although he's super aggressive and he puts a lot of power in his shots, a more decorated fighter or more elite or methodical striker with good defense will put him to bed very quickly, right? Because they were able to time him, they were able to tire him out as well. His shots come from one kind of thing only, which is high pressure. You will look to see him go left to the body first. We will go straight with the left hook to the body. We'll start with the straight to the face, which will then open up his left shots again, that's where his power actually is. Not so much his right hand. His right hand usually there to like maintain a good combination, but mainly his power comes from his left side. He's not even a left-handed fighter, but he is readable like that. And Kong Chai was able to read that for 2 rounds and time him really well with a stepping knee. Aliff, on the other hand, is a lot taller than Kong Chai, right? He's also got very good skill set. He's got a more cerebral attack, more methodical attack. He doesn't just box heavy. He's got sharp elbows when you come in very close to him. But first, you have to get past his first line of defense, which is his long-range weapons. Fights on the outside. There's a lot of body kicks, a lot of question mark kicks, a lot of high kicks. And he does that from back foot or front foot situations. He also steps off to his left, right? And when you bypass any of those weapons, Aliff's going to clinch you and throw in some elbows, even short ones as well. But Aliff's defense, especially boxing defense, is not the smoothest. He doesn't keep the guard tight. He does have a tendency to put out the hand, to measure, parry. He does do that a lot. And I think those are the moments where Ramadan Dash can clip him. I think Ramadan Dash has definitely got more power. I think he can really put Aliff down and possibly even finish the fight with maybe a TKO first round, second round mostly. But if I think he doesn't get that opportunities within the first round and half of the second round, I can definitely tell you now that his chances are going to go away very fast. Aliff's going to get him. Because once Aliff finds his rhythm and his timing and his reach, and he gets that, very few fighters are able to actually stop him. He's such a difficult fighter to stop once he finds that reach on you. When you notice that you can't attack him over in this range, he's just going to piece you up the whole time. And the only fighter I could remember very, very clearly that put Aliff in difficult situations like that was Elias Barboza. Barboza did that to him really well, which was, I see there's Yang Paiman, but that was kickboxing, right? In Muay Thai, I'm talking Muay Thai in particular, not kickboxing now. Elias Barboza was a similar height to Ramadan Dash and also a boxing heavy fighter. And what he did really well in that fight was he took it to Aliff. He didn't allow any distance fighting. Everything was straight up close quarters, in range fighting, lots of aggressive boxing. He just didn't give Aliff a chance to settle. He forced him to back up the whole time and choose a go laterally, it doesn't matter. You're just going to back up the whole time now. And that's what he did really well. Now, I don't know if Ramadan Andash can apply the same kind of pressure that Barboza does, because Andash has shown me, especially against the Kong Chai fight where he was taken into deep waters, he didn't have the juice to go. Granted that Kong Chai also kicked his right arm, pretty much fractured it. You could see at the end of the fight that Ramadan Andash, his right arm was purple. He just took every kick the whole time. To the point where he wasn't even using his right hand anymore in the fight after round one. It was completely ruined. And that's what you get from being a boxing heavy fighter. So there are keys to victory for both guys, but hard to choose a victor. But I'm gonna go Aliff. I think Aliff is the more skillful fighter. He's got more weapons, in my opinion. The range is gonna be tricky for Ramadan Andash. Aliff is not gonna get stuck into a brawl the way Chad Payak did, which will then make it a bit easier for Ramadan Andash. I think Aliff knows how to manage rounds, right? And that's gonna be a key factor for me. Whereas Ramadan, you know what it's gonna give you. It's just gonna be this bulldog. He's just gonna walk you down and he's gonna fuck you up. He's not gonna play any games, right? But that's readable. That's readable to a fighter like someone like Aliff. And that's why I give Aliff the win. I think he's got the skill set and the experience, even though he's only 21 years old, to be able to deal with someone like Ramadan Andash. It's basically the bull versus the matador here. That's what we're gonna watch in that fight. Big one. That's fight of the night for me, right there. Even though we got 2 title fights on the fight card, that's the people's main event right there. Aliff versus Ramadan Andash. Give me your thoughts in the chat, please. If you have a disagreement, you know where the comment section is. Let me know. Okay. Up next, we have Dmitry Kovtun taking on Shinji Suzuki. This is bantamweight Muay Thai. I honestly don't know what Shinji Suzuki is doing here. The man's 40 years old. I got KO'd by Jake Peacock in his last fight. It's like, what's the buzz here? Why is this happening? Why do they keep feeding Dmitry Kovtun these old cans? You know what I mean? I think this feels like a layup for Dmitry Kovtun. There's an expectation for him to win the fight. He's contracted. You know what I mean? He has to be fighting against the best bantamweight guys. So I think he's kind of like a, let's get you back in there. We need you back in there kind of situation. Dmitry Kovtun is 28 years old. His record in one championship is 3 wins, 2 losses, 0 no contests. He's lost to Rambo Lek by second round TKO in his last fight. Shinji Suzuki, like I said, 40 years old. His record in one is 1 win, 2 losses, 0 no contests. He lost to Jake Peacock by third round TKO in his last fight. What are we going to see here? Exactly the same thing. I think Dmitry Kovtun's going to utilize the speed, the range, the volume, the fancy footwork, the kickboxing X nature fight style, and also the fact that he's younger and he can put that pace on for 3 rounds quite easily. Right? It's going to be difficult for Shinji. Shinji doesn't have the same tank anymore. Doesn't fight the same like he used to. He's 40 years old. He backs up too much right now. He's easy to hit, and he goes down a lot easier than he did in the past. I'll be surprised if Shinji wins this fight. Really would be very surprised if Shinji wins this fight. It looks like it's a bit of a layup. If I'm being honest here, it looks like a bit of a layup for me. I don't understand why this is the matchup, because the Kovtun is contracted, and I think he could be fighting much higher up the rankings. You could get like a Padam Garati. You could even gotten like a Tyson Addison, for example. But he's killing Shinji, and I think that's to kind of get him back into the win column, so they can get him back to the conversation of fighting against more ranked opponents. Because this is a fight night card. It's not a Friday fights card, so that's a step up for him. Right? Even though he has been fighting a lot of Friday fights cards and like some fight night cards as well. But I expect him to win the fight here. First, second round finish, maybe high volume. In the place on Shinji, looking to attack the body, then eventually get him to fade, drop the arms, look for a KO shot to the head. I think he's faster. I think he's more accurate. I think he's got the vibrance here. I think he's got the vitality, which will take him through the rounds. With Shinji, I don't know if he can able to still go a solid 3 rounds like he did at least 20 years ago, right? Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Please move into our last one. Okay, this is a banger as an opening fight for this fight card. We have Jeremy Miado taking on Avazbek Komirzaev. Woo! Big fight. Big fight for both guys, by the way. Jeremy Miado is from the Philippines. He's 32 years old. His record in one championship is 7 wins, 8 losses, 0 no contest. He's got 2 wins by KO, 4 wins by TKO, and he beat Gilbert Nakatani, a unanimous decision in his last fight. Avazbek Mirzaev is 24 years old. His record in one championship is 8 wins, 1 loss, 0 no contest. He's got 2 wins by KO, 5 wins by sub, 5-fight win streak, and he beat South Africa's own Willie van Rooyen, our first round sub in his last fight. Beautiful performance, by the way. Even though Willie was competitive for the good portion of that round, he still pulled out the hat there and got the sub. But I mean, I've been talking about Avazbek so much over the last couple of years. I've been saying, if this guy doesn't get title shots, or if he doesn't like get high profile fighters or contract, he should be going to UFC. He's a wasted talent if he doesn't get any of that, because dude, a solid 135er, solid 135er. Like, I think he can definitely upset the apple card there at the UFC 135 pound division for sure. The keys to victory, and also the stake on this fight is pretty high intense, right? Because Mirzaev, after beating Willie van Rooyen, a current flyweight champion out of EFC, he goes in and beats him, boom, taps him out in the first round. Gets a top 5 contender in Jeremy Miyado, or these former top 5. I think he's currently top 5 or top 6 at the moment. Right, Jeremy Miyado, very good striker, good knees, right, high profile name. A win over Jeremy puts you in the top 5. You can make a title run now. Whereas for Jeremy, it's like beating Mirzaev, who took out the top talented prospect that could go for a title shot next year, right? Or if you lose to him, and it's like at 32 years old, you lose to up and coming, but you lose to the next big potential star prospect for a title shot. It's like, oh, he's the new god. I just lost to him. He's not even a champion yet. You know what I mean? Then you lose your spot in the top 5. It's a little bit of a downgrade. So a lot at stake for them here, both guys. So keys to victory, I think, let me start with Jeremy Miyado, right? Because I think he's the more experienced guy. Keys to victory for Jeremy Miyado, I think, to keep the fight at distance, keep it striking. I think he's got a good advantages there. He's got very good boxing, fantastic knees out on the outside, jumping knees. But primarily his boxing is really good. I think once he goes to grappling, I think he's definitely going to be outmatched there. So I think if Jeremy keeps the fight standing, right, puts the pressure on Avazbek, attacks the calves early, force Avazbek to panic shoot. Once you get someone like Avazbek panic shooting, then the fight's pretty much one and done there. It's like you got him trapped. He's going to shoot whenever he gets the chance now, because he doesn't want to stand with you anymore. He knows that the longer he stands, the boom is going to be there. He's going to get KO'd. He will shoot anytime you get very close. So I think by doing that, you need to attack the calves a lot more. Once you do that, they lose their base. So I want to see him utilize a lot of calf kicks, not a lot of body shots, because you could take them down from there. Pop out that jab a lot, down the pipe, double jab, 2 down the pipe a lot, calf kick at the end. Just make it a bit of an ugly fight for Avazbek, and keep the pressure. Nice distance management, not too much aggression, where you can get taken down, but just enough to stay in the range where you force him to box, and he can't do anything else but box with you. Right? Avazbek, on the other hand, doesn't mind that. He doesn't mind boxing heavy fights. He's got very good striking. Good striking enough to survive fights and actually hurt his opponents. But Avazbek's best work is when he actually gets you down. Eventually, when he gets you down, right, and he puts the jiu-jitsu on you. He's one of those Dagestani-based wrestlers that loves to finish fights. He doesn't just grapple and hold you there. He looks for finishes, whether it's arm bars, guillotines, arse chokes, you name it. He sets them up so well from top control, from his ground and pound, which leads to you giving out some kind of limb. He grabs it, he taps you out. A lot of leg locks, but arm locks, head chokes. That's where he goes. That's Avazbek's forte. But don't be fooled that he's striking. I think, he's just a grappler. This guy striking is very good. It's competent. It's good enough to stack with good strikers and maybe force them to want to wrestle with you. He's a high-level fighter, guys. He's only 24 years old. It's going to be a big step up for him, but I think he gets the job done. The biggest thing for Avazbek for me is he doesn't have a gas tank. I've seen him get tired when he gets to round 3. I think, especially if a fighter, he's a very good grappler, and makes it a bit of a grueling exercise for him. Then he can get tired in the 3rd round. But he's a gamer. He's got a good heart. He's aggressive. He's got that mentality of like, I'll go until my last breath, and I like that about him. He doesn't just lay on you the whole time. He fights to finish fights a lot. So I've got Abazbek for the win. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section, please. What I'm gonna do now is bring up our full card picks on screen. Here we go. And I'm gonna go over it. This is just my full card picks. This is not actually gonna be our parlay. This is just what I think about the full card, just to remind you guys again what my picks were for the fight card. So Kulmirzaev, obviously, I just went through it now. You know why I'm going with Kulmirzaev. He is an absolute monster. Then we have Dmitry Kovtun beating Shinji. You know why I said that one. Shinji's 40 years old. I just don't know if he's got the stuff anymore. And Kovtun, this looks like kind of a fight to bring him back into the win column. So I expect him to get the job done there. Aliff versus Ramadan on Dash. This is going to be a big one. Hard to really pick one, but I did go with Aliff because I think it's the more stylish, it's got more weapons. It's got a better IQ for me. Ramadan and Dash is probably more athletic. It's more explosive, powerful, and he's got the athleticism, but I just don't know if he's got the. It's a classic fight because he's got the tactician or technician of Aliff, the sniper-like kind of fighter, tall, rangy, very cool, dangerous weapons on the outside, and you got Ramadan and Dash that's built like a army tank and just goes forward and just drops bombs on you, bro. Beast. But I went to the Aliff. I went with the sniper for me. I think the technician for me always is the fighter that's got the brain and know how to deal with things. With Ramadan, he's just, I'm gonna power right through and armor everything. Let's see, Aliff. Then we went with Garcia as well. Marcelo Garcia beating Lachlan Giles, even though Lachlan Giles is the younger fighter. I think Garcia is just a legend, man. This guy's just hard to beat. Pajija taking on Martina Dominczak. I went with Pajija. I think she's the current champion. She's just a high-level fighter. She's more powerful than Dominczak everywhere. The only thing is the volume and the speed from Martina. That's going to be the thing that she has to deal with. But I think Pajija will get around it. Dealt with kind of Marimoto, who fights like Martina, but more high level in my opinion. Pajija was able to deal with her. I know it was kickboxing, but dealt with her in a very safe, good fashion. Didn't take too much damage. Flyweight Submission Grappling Championship fight. We have Diogo Reis and Daiki Kura. Got Diogo Reis for the win. I think he's the former ADC champion. And just a bully. Just an absolute bully when it comes to this game. He's such a beast in there, and I think he's hard to beat. Then we've got Shadow against Enzo Kautum. I've got Shadow for the win there. I think Shadow is going to do what he does best, and that's pressure on him. Eliminate the distance. Don't allow for any calf kicks. A lot of elbows and clinch fighting. That's going to be the one that gets him done. If he fights a kickboxing fight style, I think he loses this fight. But if Shadow fights the way he fights everybody in Muay Thai, I think he gets the job done over Enzo here. And then lastly, Fabricio Andrade versus Enkh-Orgil Baturku. We got Fabricio Andrade. In my opinion, the power and the size, the boxing, the kickboxing, the knee strikes, the accurate shots that he has, the good takedown defense, the judo background. I think that's going to be a problem for Enkh-Orgil. Enkh-Orgil's got a high pressure game, but he wants to grapple with you only. And I think if you only have one dimension of winning the fight, then you're going to struggle against someone that can do so many things. So I've got Fabricio Andrade for the win. And then before I conclude, ladies and gentlemen, I will also bring up our parlay on screen. This is the one we are going to be putting money down on. Abazbek Kulmirzaev, Dmitry Kovtun, Pajija, and Andrade. Those are locks for me. Those are for sure picks for this fight card. The other fights I just went through now are a little bit difficult. You notice that I don't have Aliff on the fight on the pick there. The parlay, just because that fight for me is too unpredictable. It's just too difficult to. Even though I picked Aliff to win, it's just slightly. You know what I mean? It's not convincing. It's just slightly. Fight is 50-50 for me. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Ladies and gentlemen, that is my time. Thank you for tuning in. If you made it this far, please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel. We will also have UFC 333 preview coming out tomorrow, as well as One Friday Fights 135. Will be coming out Thursday. And we will be live for the Friday Fights card on Friday. AD will be live for the One Fight 938 card on Saturday morning. And he also will be live for the UFC 333 Sunday morning. So take a look at all of that. From myself and the Fighting with Friends team, ladies and gentlemen, have yourself a fantastic week, and we will catch you in the next one. Where's my influence? Cheers, everybody.